Change is inevitable. Leading teams through change is hard, and the uncertainty can disrupt focus, lower morale, and create confusion. As a leader, it's your responsibility to keep your team aligned and motivated. And today, I'm going to unpack some simple, actionable strategies for leading your team with confidence during times of uncertainty. Let's dive in. Change is unsettling for many people. Whether it's an introduction to redesigned policies, new acquisitions, or organizational restructuring that affects your team and the business, it challenges all of us to rethink and reassess. Here's the truth. Change isn't just an operational shift or a hurdle you need to overcome. It's a call for growth. The first thing you need to do as a leader is to acknowledge the human side of change. Your team isn't just processing a new strategy or structure. They're grappling with the uncertainty. See, people are watching you closely. They see how you respond, whether you choose to address the elephant in the room or ignore it. And let me tell you this, acknowledging the emotional impact of change builds trust. And trust is the foundation that keeps you and your team aligned. See, we have to recognize that leadership isn't about having all the answers. It's about being transparent and being willing to confront the discomfort that change brings. If you're willing to show up that way, your team will begin to see you as their leader and give you their support. Conversely, if you're not willing to be transparent, implementing any change is going to become 10 times more difficult. As leaders, it's also important to note that your words matter, especially during times of uncertainty. When the winds change, right, your team looks to you. This isn't time for some top-down directives. People need to feel heard. They need to know what's going on, and more importantly, why. See, the more you can involve your team in the process, the more committed they're going to be to the outcome. Let me share a story with you. I got a call from a leader letting me know about an upcoming change in their company. And as they described the situation, it was clear that they were worried about how their people would react. And they were envisioning various different scenarios of how it could affect their team and individual people on their team. The advice I always give in situations like this is to be brutally honest and speak from the heart. I told them they needed to authentically help their team understand how the new change is actually an opportunity. I encouraged them to reframe the conversation in a way that addressed their fears and shined a light on the opportunity that change presents. I told them that their job as a leader was to turn skeptics into believers. Another point I want to highlight is around momentum. See, momentum is everything in times of change. Don't wait for the final result to celebrate. Every step forward is progress. When you acknowledge that boosts morale and keeps your team motivated. Whether it's hitting a key milestone, implementing a new system, or simply making it through a tough week, create a reason to celebrate. And celebrations, when I talk about that, it doesn't have to be something really big. You can send a simple email highlighting the collective achievements of the team, or maybe do a quick huddle to acknowledge a top performer. See, positive reinforcement not only builds momentum, but it also reminds your team that they're capable of navigating through any disruption. As a leader, you are responsible for creating a clear roadmap that guides your team through the transition and ensures everyone remains aligned on what matters most. I recommend breaking the larger vision and strategy into smaller, more manageable steps. Focus on short-term objectives. This not only provides clarity on the next step, but it also keeps everyone focused on the right stuff that'll lead to the long-term goal. See, people have a tendency of veering off course. It's just a fact, right? But it's your job to keep them between the navigational beacons. And as a leader, don't mistake activity for achievement. I've seen this way too many times. You have a responsibility to ensure the most important stuff moves forward. So you got to develop a system that's going to filter tasks, right, that you and your team are working on. This helps everyone focus on what's truly important instead of getting bogged down into less urgent, less impactful details. If your team is unsure of what's expected of them, it's going to lead to confusion. It's going to lead to frustration, and it's ultimately going to lead to disengagement. You need to define what success looks like and communicate it effectively. Change isn't a time for micromanagement. It's a time for empowering. Involve your team in decision making, especially around how the change will be implemented. Give them ownership over parts of the process. Identify your growth champions. These are the people I talk about a lot, right? These are the people that you need to make change successful, who are the role models that are going to lead the rest of the pack to buy in to whatever outcomes are mutually agreed upon. When people feel trusted and valued, they rise to the occasion. And as a leader, embracing change is more than just adapting to circumstances. It's about recognizing that not everyone on your team, right, is ready to walk the same path at the same pace. Your role is to meet them where they are, understand their fears, hesitations, and even their resistance. See, leadership isn't just about pushing the team forward. It's about guiding each member of your team, offering them the hand they need to cross over their own obstacles and hurdles. This requires empathy, patience, and a deep awareness of what your team needs to feel understood before they can fully commit to the journey ahead. But let's be clear, leading others through change begins with you embracing change yourself. You can't fake it. Others are going to pick up on your vibe if you aren't bought into the change. So the more self-aware you become, the more deeply you can connect with your team. Because your job is to inspire them to follow your lead, not just because they have to, but because they trust you. If you found the tips I shared today valuable, imagine what a personalized coaching session could do for you or maybe somebody on your team. I'll show you how you can effectively lead your team through change and activate growth champions who can help accelerate the change. Follow the link in the description and schedule an exploratory call. Okay, if you like what I shared today, do me a favor, give it a thumbs up, drop a comment below related to your business, and of course subscribe, because each week I'm sharing content to help you and your team embrace change, focus your efforts, and accelerate results. Remember this, you're just one idea away. I'll talk to you soon.